Hello, my fellow classmates, and good morning to you. My name is Denise Fuller, and I am doing Abigail Adams as my a famous revolutionary icon figure. And this is according to the article, How Betsy Has Become Famous by Lauren Thatcher. On March the 31st, 1776, Abigail Adams wrote to her husband, John Adams, who was a delegate to the Second Continental Congress, cautioning him and the other delegates not to forget to include the females in their structure of the new government. She said women should be included when they found the new government. Number two, reminding him and the other delegates that the women were fighting alongside the men for independence as well. And the third point, she comes somewhat of a feminist icon. And usually John Adams listened to her, but I think he had more pressing things on his mind. The future First Lady wrote, I long to hear that you have declared an independence, and by the way, in the new code laws, which I suppose it would be necessary for you to make, and I desire you would remember the ladies and be more generous and favorable to them than your ancestors. Abigail Adams was a highly respected revolutionary figure and a highly respected and formidable woman of her era. Her marriage to John Adams became one of mutual respect and love. Their letters total 1,000 letters over a lifetime, and still can be survived and still can be seen in if you're interested in the Massachusetts Historical Society. She was involved in some things during the Revolutionary War. She produced ammunition for the troops. When John Adams was away before the revolution, she was left in charge of her household. Not only did she raise her 4 children, she was also involved in business deals, purchasing land, selling crops, and tenant issues. She lived in an era when women were particularly educated. She self-educated herself, and she was interested in various subjects like politics, literature, and history and philosophy. She was born in Weymouth, Massachusetts on November 7, 1714. Her father was William Smith, who was a Congregationalist minister. Her mother was Elizabeth Quincy, and Elizabeth Quincy's father was a colonel militia, and he was on the council of the Colonial Governors Council. She married John Adams when she was 19 years old. He was her third cousin. And when he wrote to her, he used to title her his best friend. So she was friends with another icon, Mercy Otis Warren. I was interested in looking behind her background. She wrote and published satirical poems in the Boston papers. She was a sister of James Otis, who was a political activist during the Revolutionary War, and her husband was a prominent person, which she got to know John Adams through him. In 1769, her brother was beaten by revenuers. So with this went on, she started writing a paper called Boston Paper, and she was the kind of woman that liked to Lot 2B behind public. And in the future, Abigail Adams become the second lady of the second lady of the United States. Thank you.